Aloha, my name is Māhealani Cypher, and I am kupa'aina to the Ahupa of Kāneʻohe. My family were among the founders of the Koʻolaupoko Hawaiian Civic Club, but I wasn't really involved that much in it until around the year 2000. But prior to that, when I was working for the Sun Press newspapers, I started learning about all of the different issues that were of concern to our windward people. And so after I left the newspaper, I became a volunteer and did a lot of different community work, including working on the neighborhood board, being a member of the neighborhood board, and working on many different community organizations over the years, both in Koʻolaupoko and elsewhere. But the largest amount of my work has been in Haiku Valley and the Koʻolaupoko Hawaiian Civic Club. What's special about the Ahupa of Kāneʻohe? I think one of the most special things about it is its name, which has been mistakenly interpreted to mean an angry husband beating his wife with bamboo stick. The name Kāneʻohe refers to the sacred bamboo grove that grows near the heiau known as Kūkui-o-Kane on the slopes of the Koʻolau, right below the pali. As you come down Mikiliki Highway, you actually go through that area that's known as Kūkui-o-Kane. Punalu'u Mauka, or they call it Banana Patch area. But that was all part of Kūkui-o-Kane, where it flowed across where the highway is. H3 goes through the middle and down below to near Ho'omalapia Park. That's all part of Kūkui-o-Kane. And the springs, Kumukumu Springs, are the bottom part of that heiau. A boundary that was interesting for Kailua and Kaneohe was the Makai boundary. The Makai boundary goes along the ridge. It comes down from the pali, Pu'uwani'ani'a Ridge, and it comes along where Castle Junction is, and it jumps over that intersection to the ridge that goes behind Hawaii Loa College, and it follows that ridge along towards Kahuku towards the ridge that goes along H3. There's a ridge between Kaneohe and Kailua right there above the quarry. It goes all the way down between Kailua and Kaneohe until it gets to where Aikahi Shopping Center is. It comes down that ridge behind the church and all the way into the ocean. The line on the map comes into the ocean. So if you look at that boundary, Kailua has no part of Mokapu. All of Aikahi is actually in the Ahupa of Kāneʻohe. One of the interesting boundaries for Koʻolaupoko is that its boundary extends around Makapu'u to Puli'o'o Ridge. And a lot of people are curious about that. And when we went to the Waimanalo neighborhood board, we actually asked the Hawaiians of Waimanalo, if they had any clue as to why their boundary actually wound around Makapu'u to Puli'o'o Ridge. And they speculated that it was probably because Queen Kalama was given Waimanalo Ahupu'a, and there was no large fish pond on the windward side of Waimanalo. So the fish pond that existed was on the other side of Waimanalo, which is now called Mauna Lua or Hawaii Kai. So that fish pond became her fish pond, and it was all part of the gift that she was given by King Kamehameha III. Hawaiians' connection to place, especially places where they were born and raised. You meet a Hawaiian on the mainland, they're going to ask you where did you graduate from. That's connection to place. It's part of our fundamental identity, where we come from. You can take people from Hawaii and take them anywhere in the world. They could be in the heart of Africa or in Russia or somewhere in China. And if they're from Hawaii and you're from Hawaii and you hear them talk, you're going to know they're from Hawaii. And you can take them out of the islands, but you can't take the islands out of the person, out of the Hawaii person, because they don't have to be Hawaiian. But if they're born and raised here in the islands, they would have absorbed Hawaiian thinking in some of the things they do and think and feel. And so they're no Hawaii wherever they go. Well, the work that I've been doing in Haiku Valley is on behalf of the Koala Foundation. It's also part of a calling from kupuna from the area who have kind of called us to malama this area, malama the cultural resources of Haiku Valley. So we bring in volunteers regularly and we educate the community regularly about the important places of Haiku Valley and about the ahupua'a of Heia. So Heia is a very large ahupua'a here in Koʻolaupoko. There's so much mana in the word aloha and in the word Hawaii. If you say the word Hawaii anywhere in the world, it will lift people's spirits. It will make them smile. So I think that the mana of the word Hawaii is the mana of the place Hawaii and the mana of the people Hawaii. So that's why we support spreading No'ono'o Hawaii, Hawaiian thinking wherever we can. We share the mo'olelo wherever we can. And the fundamental core value of pono is about balance. We have to live in balance with the aina, with the ocean, with each other. And if we could all learn that core principle and apply it everywhere in every country and every culture, I think it would strengthen us in a global way. Thank you.